Now, if there was one region in the whole of France that I just couldn't live without, it would be the Rhone Valley in the southeast. Now, right from the bottom all the way up to the top, right from fairly simple Côte de Rhône, right up to famous names like Châteauneuf-du-Pape and Côte Rôtie, there's amazing quality to be had here, and also really, really good value still. So it's really worth exploring. Now, it's actually two regions really. In the south, you've got this quite kind of round, sprawling area. Most of it used to be an old riverbed. And they grow all kinds of red grapes here. But the most important one is Grenache. And it makes quite full-bodied, quite rich reds with lots of ripe strawberry fruit, sometimes with a little bit of cocoa, sometimes with a little bit of dried herbs as well. And for their whites, what they use a lot of the time is a spicy grape called Roussanne, and they often blend it with Grenache Blanc. Now, what I like about Grenache Blanc is that it doesn't have a lot of intense fruit flavour, but what it does have is the feel in the mouth is really intense. So it has a really intense texture and has a really kind of, it's quite full and round, moves really slowly in your mouth. And because of all of this, it works really well with food. Now, the northern Rhone is very, very different. It's directly north of the southern Rhone, obviously, and it is basically, it's a valley that runs north to south, very steep sides, and it's a different type of soil completely. And here, the red grape that they use is Syrah, which is one of the finest red grapes that you can get. And the reds here have this really distinctly spicy, smoky flavour, and sometimes it's just like black pepper. And these are amazing red wines, and they can age for absolutely decades as well. I had one from 1900 a few years ago, and it was still incredible. They also make some whites here as well, but the whites they use, they do use Roussanne, but they also blend it in with a grape called Marsanne. And this again is full-bodied white. They often age it in oak, but it has really complex flavours. Things like apricot, peach, sometimes a bit of rhubarb, sometimes a bit of celery, sometimes nuts and honey. And it can be a lovely, lovely wine. Works really well with richer dishes like roast chicken, lobster, kind of rich fish dishes in sauces, things like that. There's one other white grape that they use, one called Viognier. And this is a really unique and interesting grape variety. Again, it's very full-bodied, it moves really slowly in your mouth, very thick, but has really kind of fresh, ripe peach and apricot flavours. But the aroma is amazing. It's this really intense, kind of heady jasmine, floral kind of aroma. And it's definitely one of the most interesting and one of the most hedonistic wines of France. Our next stop is going to be Beaune, which is a town in the centre of Burgundy in the east of France. And you can follow our trip on roadtripinfrance.com, or the hashtag is Frenchwinetrip.